Morning everyone. Here is the second chapter of our story of the week, The Owl Who Was Afraid of the Dark by Jill Tomlinson. Now, yesterday we found out that Plop is a little barn owl who actually thinks that dark is terrifying. He found out all about fireworks yesterday and realised that it's perhaps not quite as bad as he first thought. Today, the chapter is called Dark is Kind. When the very last firework had faded away, Mr. Barn Owl turned to Plop. "Well, son," he said, "I'm off hunting now. Would you like to come?" Plop looked at the darkness all around them. It seemed even blacker after the bright fireworks. Not this time, thank you, Daddy. I can't see. I've got those stars in my eyes." "I see," said his father. "In that case, I shall have to go by myself." He floated off into the darkness with a great white moth. Plop turned in distress to his mother. "I wanted to go with him. I want to like the dark. It's just that I don't seem to be able to." "You will be able to, Plop. I'm quite sure about that." "I'm not sure," said Plop. "Well, I am," his mother said. "Now come on, you'd better have your rest. You were awake half the night." So Plop had his midnight rest, and when he woke up, his father was back with his dinner. Plop swallowed it in one huge gulp. That was nice," he said. "What was it?" "A mouse," said Mr. Barn Owl. "I like mouse," said Plop. "What next?" "I have no idea," his father said. "It's Mummy's turn now. You'll have to wait till she gets back." Plop was always hungry, and his mother and father were kept very busy bringing him food all night long. When daylight came, they were very tired and just wanted to go to sleep. "Bedtime, Plop," said Mrs. Barn Owl. "I don't want to go to bed," said Plop. "I want to be a day bird." "Well, I am a night bird," said his mother. "And if your father and I don't get any sleep today, you won't get anything to eat tonight." Plop didn't like the sound of that at all, so he drew himself up straight and tall, well, as tall as he could, and tried to go to sleep. He did sleep for half the morning, but then he woke up full of beans, or perhaps it was a mouse, and he just could not go back to sleep again. He jiggled up and down on the branch where his poor parents were trying to roost. He practiced standing on one leg and taking off and landing and other important things that a little barn owl has to learn to do. Then he thought he would try out his voice. He tried to make a real grown-up barn owl noise. "Eek!" he screeched. "Eek!" It sounded like the noise a cat makes if you accidentally tread upon its tail. Plop was very pleased with it. Mrs. Barn Owl was not. She half opened one bleary eye. "Plop, dear," she said, "wouldn't you like to go down into the world again and find out some more about the dark?" "Now?" said Plop. "Now," said his mother. "Don't you want to hear my screech first? It's getting jolly good." "I heard it," Mrs. Barn Owl said. "Look, there's an old lady in a deck chair down there in that garden. Go and find out what she thinks about the dark." So Plop shut his eyes, took a deep breath, and fell off his branch. He did not get his wings working in time. He fell faster and faster and finally plunged at the old lady's feet with an earth-shaking thump. "Gracious!" cried the old lady. "A thunderbolt!" Actually, I'm a barn owl," said the thunderbolt when he'd got his breath back. "Really?" said the old lady, peering at Plop over the top of her glasses. "Oh, I do beg your pardon. My eyes are not as good as they used to be. How nice of you to, drop in." Well, it wasn't nice of me exactly, Plop said truthfully. I came to ask you about something. Did you? Said the old lady. Now what could that be, I wonder? I wanted to ask you about the dark. You see, I'm a bit afraid of it, and that's rather awkward for an owl. We're supposed to be night birds. That is a problem, said the old lady. Have you tried carrots? What? Don't say what. Say, I beg your pardon, if you don't hear the first time. I said, have you tried carrots? Wonderful things, carrots. I don't think owls have carrots. Well, not barn owls anyway. Oh, well, that's a pity. I've always sworn by carrots for helping one to see in the dark. I can see in the dark, said Plop. I can see for miles and miles. Well, don't boast. It's not nice for little boys to boast. The old lady leaned forward and peered closely at Plop. I suppose you are a little boy? It's so difficult to tell these days.